I know in this age of TikTok, it seems like we're kind of getting away from like the meat of fashion. How often are you gonna wear them Birkenstock flip-flops? I know you like them on that girl on Instagram, but be real with yourself. Right now, you're bored with your closet, right? That's probably why you're looking at trends. I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like this is the reason a lot of people don't like trends. But, like I said, you have to know how to go about it. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Jordan. On my channel, it's just Jordan, where you can find me every week navigating my 20s in style. Some of you may be like, girl, we ain't seen you navigating your 20s in style per se in a little minute. Okay, I have, alright. As a lot of you know, if you watch my vlogs, you definitely know everything that's going on, which is, there's a lot going on. So if you ever don't see a fashion video from me, best believe I'm still serving fashion in my vlogs, okay? So yeah, it's kind of like fashion, but more in a lifestyle way, okay? So look, the fashion videos didn't go anywhere. I just have not had any time to sit down and make a fashion video. So before we get started, I am thinking of starting a little fashion series called Work Your Wardrobe. It kind of just means, you know, working your wardrobe, like you're getting the most out of your wardrobe. I'm gonna show you guys more like styling tips, like today, you know, picking out what trends work best for you. I'll probably explain more at the end of the video what else I plan to do with it and why this kind of came to me and why I think this is so important right now. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So if you saw the thumbnail, if you read it, or if you know you're just super loyal and you just clicked the video because I posted a video, if you did read the thumbnail, you know that we're going to be talking about something we talk about pretty often on this channel, and that is trends. Now, you guys are used to me talking about the trends that I'm enjoying, the trends that are coming out for each season and whatnot, but you never really hear me dive into why I like trends. Okay, listen, so this video isn't necessarily about why I like trends, but I do feel like it's essential for me to mention if we're going to talk about what's the best way to find what's going to work for you when it comes to trends. They are a really good way to kind of branch out and try something different. To be honest, without trends, we would always just stay the same. We would always just, you know, kind of just flatline, unless you're just someone who is just naturally really stylish. But even those people, I feel like, you know, everybody's influenced by something, whether it is other people in fashion, whether it is the runway, designers, or whether it's just, you know, nature in the world. Everybody's influenced, or, you know, they get their inspiration from somewhere, okay? You have to have background knowledge in order to get to your current knowledge. So with that being said, I feel like trends are very helpful for that. I personally use trends to look at things and then be like, I really like this, I think I'm gonna try it, and then sometimes I end up really liking it and it's something that just stays a consistent thing in my wardrobe. So that's why I personally am not mad at trends. But like I said, you kind of have to know how to go about it. If you do not know how to go about it, that's when it becomes a problem. So let's get into some ways that you can really point out the trends that you really like, that you're really gonna use, so you really don't waste your money. Even me being a fashion girl, I had to get through a lot of phases of trying things that I did not like, and I feel like that's why I'm kind of a self-proclaimed expert in knowing the things that I really do like. To be honest, I had to go through some trial and error to get here, but I'm gonna give you a few of my tips that I use nowadays so you don't have to go through as much trial and error as I went through. So these are a few tips on how to pick the best trends for your personal style. So my first tip is to analyze your current style. You really want to look at how you already dress. Unless you're someone who's dressing completely out of your box and you're not comfortable at all, then maybe don't follow this rule. But if you're someone, you kind of know a little bit of what you like, you want to analyze your own style before you go and dive out into other trends. So you guys know I recently gave you a video actually of the trends for the summer. So I'm going to give you a little example of how you can use that video to kind of decide what's for you and what is not for you. Let's say you are a minimal girl, okay? I'm not a minimal girl. I think we know that. So like if you follow the clean girl aesthetic to a T and whatnot, this example is primarily for you. Okay, so in my trends video, I definitely mentioned a big trend this year will be a lot of Y2K, a lot of sequins. And if we know anything about Y2K, we know Y2K can get a little bit out there. We know it can get a little bit colorful. We know it can get a little bit graphic. I feel like there's not a genre we can get further away from with minimal than the Y2K aesthetic, okay? So that is why I'm using that as an example. So if I ever tell you a trend that goes into the Y2K aesthetic, for my minimal and clean girls, you're probably not going to like that trend. Now, there are new modern day Y2K ideas that you can kind of gravitate to, but you're not going the Paris Hilton sequin dress at her birthday party. You're not going the Von Dutch route. You are not going to be wearing Ed Hardy. So once you see that trending, I think you know that's not for you. And I think Y2K is a popular one that a lot of people say, you know, that is absolutely not for me. Hey, at least you know. But there are definitely some things out here that aren't quite as obvious for us. But it's okay, we're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna use kind of my style and people who are more, you know, in my fashion genre. For instance, I personally am not drawn to floral pieces. It's summertime, you know that long maxi floral dresses are very big at this time. I think they're absolutely beautiful and I have fallen for it time and time again in the past, okay? I go out there, I go to my local Zara, and I see a really pretty pastel light colored beige dress with little flowers on it that I probably saw some girl on Instagram in, and I was like, yeah, she looks cute in that dress. Okay, I had to come to terms. Girl, you don't even like floral print. Like, you don't even like floral print. Think about it. So you're gonna buy this dress because you saw it look good on somebody else. Are you gonna wear it next year? No, because you're not even a floral kind of person. So we also have to think about, like, just because we see it on somebody else and we may really, really enjoy it on that other person, that doesn't mean that we are going to feel most ourselves and our most confident in the piece, okay? So that trend, that summer floral sundress just may not be for us, even though it's a trend. So for me personally, that's a trend I would have to skip. All in all, you really want to analyze your current style and then compare it to the trends. You have to pick out and be honest with yourself what is you and what is absolutely not you. Like I said, I like trends because it allows you to try something new. Sometimes you can try a trend and realize this is really for me. And so my next tip is you do want to jump out of the box, but not too far out of the box. So what that means is, again, it's kind of going back to you analyzing your current style, but you don't want to do the same thing. So right now you're bored with your closet, right? That's probably why you're looking at trends. Trends make things interesting. Trends make things a little more modern. It shakes things up a little bit. So you are correct to go out and seek something a little different. But emphasis on the little. A little different. I know it sounds like such a restraint, but trust me, you're gonna appreciate that restraint later, because don't let your excitement get the best of you in the store. So an example I have for this, I'm gonna start with my girls who are into neutrals. So everybody knows when it's summertime, what's the number one thing everybody's looking for? We're looking for color. Literally every year we get on here, look, me and everybody else get on here and tell you, yes, and this summer color is trending. Duh. Color is trending. Of course, it's summer. When else is color trending as heavy as it is during the summertime, right? Shout out to my mom. She's always looking for her mention in my videos. So this is your mention, mommy. She's a minimal girl. So if I was to style my mother and try to help her get outside the box, and I know she's not into like colors that are not neutrals, but she wants to try, I'm not about to hand sis a blue and green printed dress, okay? That's too much going on for her. She went from wearing black, white, and gray to that, okay? What I would do in this case if somebody is into neutrals, and even myself, I'm not even into too much color like that. What I would do is maybe try a pop of color. I wouldn't go out and buy a whole entire two-piece blazer suit that's a color. I would probably go and buy a little pink bag, maybe some pink shoes, something like that. Even if that's too wild for you, because for some people, even adding a punch of hot pink is just a little too much, you could even do a little bit of color by just trying pastel colors, okay? So it's not your normal muted black, white, grays. Now you're just trying maybe a soft pink, a soft yellow. I think that would be a lot more comfortable for someone who is into neutral colors. Another example I have of this, and this is kind of more of a at Jordan, like, I'm adding myself, okay, because this is literally me. So we know that I like my styling to get a little more out there. I like to have interesting pieces on. I like my outfit to be like, oh, okay, she gave us a little something. What probably would not make sense for me, one thing that's trending this summer are the Birkenstock slides or the Birkenstock flip-flops, okay? I'm not gonna cap to you, okay? I've seen a lot of girls wearing the Birkenstocks and I was just like, Jordan, do you need Birkenstocks? Like, those look so good on her. Do you need Birkenstocks? And then I really finally had to realize, because these are $150 little flip-flops, okay? I had to realize, Jordan, how often are you gonna wear them Birkenstock flip-flops? I know you like them on that girl on Instagram, but be real with yourself. When you walk out the house, how many times are you gonna pick them up? Probably like every time you go to Target, and that's about it. I'm not going to want to walk the streets of Chicago in my Birkenstock flip-flops, because every time I walk the streets in Chicago, I'm trying to do the most. So I'm probably gonna want to go for some really cool Jordans, or if I'm feeling really outrageous that day, some platform heels or sandals. I'm not picking up those Birkenstocks on the days that I want to be a hot girl, and that's about every day. The girls are definitely serving in it, but it's not me. So even I have to be honest with myself and check myself when I see things circulating, and sometimes when you see things so much, you almost like, it almost convinces you like, hold on, maybe this is for me. No, it's not. If you didn't like it the first 3 times, just let it go. So that's just to help you to make sure that you don't have a pile of clothes every year that are literally just waiting to die and go to your local thrift store at the end of the season because you didn't wear it. Okay, so my third tip and another way you can figure out what trends work best for you is to pay attention to what you pull out of your closet the most, okay? I can't tell you to actually pay attention to your closet because I think a lot of us probably hate half of our closet, and then there's the other half of our closet that we try to wear every single day, and we really have to convince ourselves, you know, they saw us in this shirt 3 times last week, like, are you really gonna do this again this week? Yeah. So I'm telling you to pay attention to the clothes that you actually keep pulling out of your closet. I feel like this is a really good indicator that maybe you really like those pieces. So let's say, for instance, that you are into crop tops, you are into button downs and whatnot. But let's say what's trending is elevated basics. So elevated basics, if you guys are not used to this channel, if you're used to this channel, you already know what an elevated basic is. But if you're not used to this channel, it's just basically a basic and they add something cool or interesting to it to make it better. It could even be as simple as a button down that has stripes. So let's say stripe button downs are trending for the season. If you are into button downs and you know you always wear your button downs in your closet, you definitely can try that stripe button down trend. Even right now, like the button downs with the matching boxer sets are very, very trendy right now. So like I said, if you're a button down girl, you probably would really like this trend. If you're not already a button down girl, it may look cute on sis, but it may not be your thing. Another really good example is statement pants. Now I know last year statement pants were really, really heavily trending. I still personally like to wear them because I just like to wear what I like to wear. But let's say that's a trend that you were looking into. If you're a girl who doesn't even like to wear pants and you always like to wear skirts and dresses, maybe statement pants like are not for you, girl. You don't even wear the regular pants in your closet you have now. What makes you think adding a print to it or adding something exciting to it is gonna make it more palatable for you, you know? So you just really have to analyze, what are you pulling out, okay? If you are, instead of pulling out pants and you're pulling out skirts all the time, maybe the trend like the micro mini skirt would be best for you. You know you love skirts, so why don't you take it up a notch and try out the micro mini skirt if you're comfortable with that. Overall, I think you looking into your own closet and looking at what you pick up every day, what you feel most confident in, I feel like that's going to be a dead giveaway on when you are paying attention to the new seasonal trends. It's going to be a dead giveaway on what you're actually going to wear and what you are absolutely not going to wear. Okay, this next tip I feel like could potentially be the most important tip of them all, and I feel like this is kind of the area where people are most stressed out when it comes to trends, and why a lot of people often, you know, stray away from trends and even find trend to almost be like an icky or gross, uninviting word, okay? I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like this is the reason a lot of people don't like trends. But like I said, you have to know how to go about it. So my next tip is to look at the longevity of the trend that you are looking at. So contrary to it seems to be popular belief, even though something is trending, it does not mean that next year when it's not quote unquote on the trendy list, it does not mean that you cannot wear it anymore. It just isn't the hottest of the hot. And I feel like a lot of people glaze over that. Like when I mention things coming back, that does not mean, oh my gosh, like I hope you weren't wearing it before this year. No, like I don't know. I thought that was common sense, but apparently not, because I get a lot of people saying it like, what, that's coming back? Like I never stopped wearing that. And that's okay. It just means that it's not the trendiest of the trendy. It's not what stores are hurrying up and trying to make it push out to us right now. Okay? Like denim jackets are definitely not trending right now. In fact, I think some people are trying to say that denim jackets like shouldn't even be worn. I personally, when it was fall, I definitely have an oversized denim jacket and I wore it and it was far from trending. It wasn't trending last year. It's not trending this year that I know of. So that doesn't mean, you know, you just automatically stop wearing it just because it's not on the trendy list. Like, y'all, let's get real here. With that being said, something that's really important when it comes to when you participate in the trends, and let's say you may be really trying to watch your coins or maybe even like your amount of consumption, then this is a really big tip for you, and that is looking at the longevity of a trend. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with trends. You just have to pay attention to what's gonna last you and what won't, because yeah, it can be trendy and you can wear it for the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I promise, okay? For example, earlier I mentioned to you that color is a really big thing this summer. But what did I also say? I also said color's a really big thing every summer. So there's nothing wrong with participating in the trend of color. You're probably gonna pull out that same thing next year, okay? And the next year, and so on. Another good example is a leather jacket. So although I can't wear that trend year round, it doesn't mean that I can't wear it every single year when it gets colder outside. I naturally have more of an edgy style. So of course, when it gets colder outside, when autumn hits, I'm pulling out my leather jacket of whatever form that I'm feeling that day, okay? So a leather jacket, like let's say when leather is trending, I personally find that that's a great trend to get into, especially for me having like an edgier style. Okay, but let's get into some examples of some things that I personally don't find to have longevity. But listen, okay? Listen closely. Listen closely. Just because I don't find it to have longevity does not mean that you can't make it have longevity. I feel like the girls who know how to style, they can take any piece, even a piece that's lame, and do something cool with it, okay? Look, but it's the girls who get it. So, like I said, nothing is off limits. Really nothing on the table of fashion is off limits. Because if you got it, you just got it.
Honestly, it ain't no tutorial. You either got it or you don't. And I happen to have it. Praise the Lord. Oh, by shata.
And that's just that on that. But let's go forward with the things that I find don't necessarily have longevity. And I would say for the general population, let's go with that, because there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. My first one, and this is again a direct attack at myself. Last winter, when we were really getting into the ski phase, we were really diving heavy into winter clothing, the winter boots, the moon boots. And then we also had the furry boots. I don't know if you guys saw those. I know that's definitely a certain genre of the fashion world who is getting that sent to them. And I'm a part of that genre. So I was seeing the girls in their little furry boots. And I'm like, hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. I need these. Like, I need these. So I sat with them in my cart for like probably a couple weeks. And this is also something that helps me. Putting things in my cart for a little bit. Usually I can figure out if I really like it or not. If I go through with it after 1 week passes, I probably really like it. But sometimes if I leave it in the cart a week, I'm like, I don't even want this anymore. And that's exactly what happened with these furry boots. I was appreciating it so much on these other girls, and even though their style was very similar to mine, I had to be real with myself. I was like, Jordan, you're really not gonna do anything with this next year. Like, this might be really popping for you for a couple of outings this winter, and a couple of IG pics, but let's be real, Jordan, are you gonna wear those boots next year? No, you are not. Take them out the cart. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. If there are any girls who bought the fur boots, let me hear from you. Are you going to be wearing them next year? Like I said, you could be an exception to the rule. But I personally decided not to participate because I just knew I didn't love it that much. Another example that I saw a couple years back, I think maybe, that I feel like doesn't have longevity, and it's clear because it's not really here today, kinda, are the Peter Pan collars. Now, there was a point where the girls, especially like the European girls, why can't I say UK today? I'm saying girl, what are you doing? The UK girls, goodness gracious, they were killing the Peter Pan collars. If you're a fan of Ghani, you definitely know what the Peter Pan collar is, okay? Because they're still serving it up. And like I said, for certain people, that's still their thing. That's just their style, and they pull it off well. But there were a lot of people who it wasn't really their everyday style. They just kind of were entertained by it and probably even intrigued by it at the time. And they probably bought a few tops from Zara with the Peter Pan collar. Where are those Peter Pan collars today? Now, luckily, I knew myself when I saw that trend. I was like, look, this is no shade to the people who bought the Peter Pan collar outfits, okay? Like I said, some people can really pull it off. I knew that I was not that people. I don't want to look like Peter Pan. And I knew that at the time. So luckily I was able to bow out of this trend, you know, while it was still circulating. But some people didn't realize, and now they probably just sent those $60 Zara shirts off to the thrift store, and they're not going to wear them anymore. So another example I will say, and I'm saying this one because I feel like this is an example where I'm an exception to the rule, and that is the platform shoe. I think the platform shoe is a perfect example because there's different ways to wear the platform shoes, the platform heels. Now, of course, you know, the Y2K girls, or even the girls who are like the Doc Martin girls, the Rick Owen girls, they are definitely into platforms, whether it's a platform Bratz doll heel or it's a platform Rick Owens boot. You like platforms. But there also got to a point where platforms were so trendy and so heavy, they kind of started circulating to even people who were into more of a minimal, timeless, classic look. And so they were buying the platform flip-flops that were just like a simple black, and they were really cute for the time, but I noticed a lot of people got away from those just as quick as they came. And I get it, you know, it may not be that comfortable for everybody. It personally does not bother me at all. Yeah, I felt like that was a good example. And I feel like we kind of had to learn, because it's been a long time since we've done the platform heel, but I'm saying this so we can learn from our mistakes. If you're more classic and more minimal, the platform may not be a big investment piece for you, or maybe not a purchase at all. For me, I'm thinking about going all out. I'm thinking about buying the Naked Wolf platform sandal for like $200-300 and everything, because I know that I'm really into Y2K. I'm really into dramatic looks. I'm really into just statement pieces. So a platform is on the top of my list every single time. Actually, I don't even want to see a flat. I'm just kidding. I'll wear flats, not flats, not ballet flats. My preference is always going to be something chunky, even when it comes to sneakers. These are the tips and the, I would say, rules, loosely say rules, that I follow whenever I'm looking into trends. That's why I always tell you guys when I start my trend videos, these are the trends that I like. I only talk about trends that I'm attracted to because I assume that majority of my audience probably has similar style to me because they're my audience. And I don't see a problem with that. You know, everybody has their styles, everybody has their niche. So that's why I tend to talk about what I like. I'm not about to talk about what a girl who has completely opposite style from me is attracted to, because I don't have that style, and my audience probably doesn't either if they are subscribed to me. So that is a rule of thumb I follow to kind of save money, to make sure I put more money into those very special pieces that I know I'm gonna love and use time and time again. It's so ingrained in me. I don't literally just go down the line and say those steps to myself. It's just literally just in me at this point. But I just told you guys that way maybe you can apply that for yourself with your future purchases. There's no problem with spicing up your closet. There's no problem with getting into the trends. Just make sure that it's a trend that you truly resonate with, that you're gonna feel the most comfortable and confident in, and is really going to add to your closet and you're going to use it. Alright you guys, if you found this video at all helpful, I would so appreciate a thumbs up. Super easy. Always hit like on my videos if you enjoy them. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video, and I do want to continue this little helpful fashion series because I feel like we're kind of losing the teaching of fashion. I know in this age of TikTok, it seems like we're kind of getting away from like the meat of fashion. So I do kind of want to bring that more onto my channel when I have time, and even more onto my TikTok platform. So I do plan on continuing this as a series. I'm thinking of calling it the Work Your Wardrobe series. Just kind of like little tips here and there on how to get the most out of your wardrobe and really know how to style, really know how to be a fashion girl. You're not just gonna be a girl scrolling on Pinterest, literally copying somebody else's outfit. It's gonna be ingrained in you when I'm done, okay? So that is my goal here. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time on my channel. Mwah.